Hey, Perfect Spirit. I'm Sam Shelley, the Miracle Man. I'm broadcasting live from the Head Trash Anonymous Facebook group, and you can join that group. I go live every so often, definitely every week, every Sunday at noon. And if you join that group, you can get a copy of my first book, the PDF download for free. So today we're going to talk about the practice. And we're just going to wait for some people to join from the community. So it's really about, what is this practice to get rid of this mental junk drawer, to really change direction in our life. That's what this is all about, is this really slowing down. So the agenda for today is, I talk for 5-10 minutes. I really don't like to do a lot of talking because it's just, adding to the noise. Then I'll do a little bit of a practice. Then I do a Q&A for my group. So, hi, Paula. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right, I see a couple of people here from the community joining in. So let's dive in today. So the practice that I want to talk about are these little steps that seem really maybe insignificant, but it's a small, constant steps that lead to big changes. And I was just writing about this today in the next book, was talking about that practice, that even these really significant steps, they don't seem very large, and your mind will protest because the mind's always protesting. It doesn't like change. It doesn't like doing new things. And if you're doing these little steps, the mind's going to grow impatient. It's going to say, this isn't going to work. You don't have the skills to do this. All these kind of stories. So we just have to realize they're just stories trying to slow us down. Hi, Dally. Thanks for joining all the way from Bali. All right, so the practices is really doing that one thing that's going to improve your life in a different direction. And it's just that little step to take a different direction and to realize we need to realize that destiny is not fixed. It's very fluid, it's dynamic, and we just have to go with our flow and not the flow of society, because that usually gets us into trouble if we're flowing with society, because that's their practice. That's their way of doing things. So the practice is just that, focusing on the practice. Before, I used to say, finding our own recipe, but I really want to let go of that recipe idea because it has an idea of a conclusion, an end result. But we really just want to focus on being here right now. And what is the smallest step I can take right here, right now, that will allow life to flow in a different direction. And we have to remember we can start wherever we are. We have all these rules that I have to go buy this. I need to read this book. I need this setup. No, you just start wherever you are and what feels calling to you. So maybe the first thing to do is to learn to be present. Maybe that is the first practice. And most people don't really understand what being present means. Present means that you're right here, right now. So you know exactly what your feet are, as a surface, hard, soft. What's the color of my background, color of my shirt? What are you engaging here in the present moment? Usually we're so lost up in here. We're either up in here, which is usually focused on the past or guessing what the future may hold. But only thing we know for certain is right here, right now. So if we can just get the mind back to here, back to here, back to here, yeah, the mind's going to grow very bored of this. But this is where all your power is. And we have to realize the mind doesn't want to give up control. The mind resists change at all the time. So it's going to get bored. It's going to say you're wasting your time. This is not going to work for you. All of this stuff. But we know, from Eckhart Tolle, from Ram Dass, all they talked about was being here now, being here in this moment, because this is where all of our power is. And I didn't even realize that's what I was doing with my 5-minute practice, was just relaxing. Oh, there goes that mind again. Where are my feet? Where are my hands? Oh, there goes that mind again. And you just come back. Story, come back. And that's really the practice. It's really that simple. Because if you're here in this moment, you're going to be aligned with your spirit, your consciousness, that perfect spirit within you, universe, source. We don't want to get hung up on language. Getting hung up on language is more head trash because it doesn't meet the mind's requirements. So it tries to put on the brakes. The mind's always trying to put the brakes onto you. But you have to realize that you're a limitless being. The only thing stopping you is this, because there's really no limitations. I saw briefly, on YouTube came up as a recommendation. I've seen him before, but a guy that doesn't have any arms or limbs, and he's doing all these incredible things. I saw him in a swimming pool. What's a guy doing in a swimming pool that doesn't have any arms or legs? It makes no sense to the mind, because nothing is impossible, that everything is possible. So we just need to slow down, see what is my practice? What can I do here? Okay, I want to focus, get them present. Then what's my next step? Only you will know for certain what your next step is, because originating from you. Others are just guessing what's best for you. So what is your practice? How are you going to start? How are you going to begin? It's all up to you. You are creating your reality in each moment. When you focused on this is a mess up here. It's usually very chaotic. And when you really follow this, you'll see your life is very chaotic, stressed, a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, depression, you name it. Your outer world matches this chaos because the inner reflects into the outer. So if your mind is a mess, your reality's a mess. And I know this all too well, from the multiple sclerosis, bipolar. I was mentally a mess. So my exterior world was a mess. So we need to clean that up. Wherever we begin is perfect. Perfect for us. Let's start being right here, right now. So we're just going to do a little practice of just being here. So we're just going to keep the eyes open today, because this is the challenge. It's easy when you're in meditation. It's a controlled environment. The eyes are closed. You're not dealing with life. But dealing with life is really when we can grow and expand. So let's say you're in a checkout line and they're going very slow. You got someplace to be, and maybe it's noisy in the store. You hear kids screaming, and you just want to throw things down and run out the door, because the mind, is just protesting against reality. That's what the mind does, saying the checkout line should be moving faster. The kids should be quiet, well behaved, and all these other stories that the mind is protesting against. But if you just step back and say, okay, she's doing the best she can, the cash register. Maybe she's new. Maybe she didn't get enough sleep. We don't really know what the story is, but we just have to have that compassion for her. So we can look at the cash register. Instead of follow up here in the stories, we start to reflect on the cashier, maybe the person in front of us. We notice the kids having fun. They're making noise because they're having fun. They're enjoying life. Sometimes we get so caught up in here, we forget to enjoy life. We take it so serious, but we're here to have fun, to make the most of this experience. Even the most painful experiences are not happening to us. They're happening for our growth. What am I meant to learn here? So when you notice the mind going off into these stories, then you just have to say, that's a story. It's taking me out of this moment, and the practice is coming back into this moment as I move through everyday life. Notice the opinions that come up. Why is this train taking so long to arrive? What's going on? Just stop, notice. Hey, I'm alive to have this experience. Then maybe do it doing other practices. When's the last time you looked at your hand and say, thank you, hand? Or your arm, or your elbow? When's the last time you didn't take the body for granted? I know I was in this way too. I didn't really take the ability to walk, as needed until I lost the ability to walk. Here one day, gone the next. And that's, unfortunately, that is life a lot of times. And then we look back with regret. Oh, I should have done this then. I should have done this. So that's why you have to do things now. because all we know is now, right here, right now. The mind is constantly guessing what's going to happen next, but we really don't know what's going to happen. So, what can we do right here, right now, that's going to impact your destiny? Because that is fluid, it's always changing, it's not set in stone. So, I see a few more people joined up. So, thanks for joining in. I don't know who it is yet, but it's all good. It's all exciting because we're alive. And if we're alive, then all possibilities are available to us in this moment. So the practice is just start wherever you are and just notice your surroundings. Like I often get mocked a lot because I walk slowly. Most New Yorkers are just plowing. They're just trying to get to the end goal. But I'm slowing down. I'm looking in the stores. I'm looking up at the skyscrapers. You would think I'm a tourist in New York City. I've been here for 3 years, but I still look up at the skyscrapers. I'm still looking at all the buildings. I'm noticing where I'm walking, what my steps are. It's like this constant moving mindfulness practice. That's really what it is. And you'll see this too from other teachers. Like I like watching the Dalai Lama. He's always touching things. If you notice him, he's touching somebody. Maybe he's noticing their clothing, but he's always touching something. See him speaking in a lectern. He's touching the lectern. He's just really in tune with this moment. He's probably not even aware that he's doing it, but he's constantly here, now. That's where all of his power is. And that's where all your wisdom resides in this moment. So if you're facing a difficult situation, it's telling you you're too much up in here because no solution is coming from a busy mind. Solutions rise up from being present, from being still. So that's what I have to share. So I just want to see if there's any questions in the community that I can answer for in the Facebook Anonymous group on Facebook. Like I said, if you're watching this late, you can join this group and get my first copy of the book, I Don't Dwell, how I used meditation, mindfulness, and yoga to reverse my incurable diseases. And the next book is The 5-Minute Cure. Because I was this bottomed out, broken down soul, but 5 minutes a day changed my life. It is that simple. So I'm just going to sit here and see if anybody has any questions that I can answer for anyone in the community. Okay, let's bring this up. Let's take a look. Okay. Yes. So it's all about, absolutely. Because when you're with like multiple sclerosis, I can really relate to this with MS. People are opening doors for you. You have chronic fatigue. There's absolutely no expectations from you. They expect you to sit like a bump on a log and just accepting, this is my life. I can't do anything more. This is it. We're fully in power when we come back into this moment and say, no, I'm not accepting this as my truth. I am perfect spirit. I am consciousness. I am source. I am universe. Whatever it is that resonates with you, you are that. And that is that infinite energy. There's no limitations. Absolutely no limitations. They're all self-imposed. All right, let's see if there's anything else here. That's great, Paula. Great insight to realize, the story that makes us weak, incapable of doing things, powerless, victimhood, blame, they all come from up here. And it's not serving and supporting us. Because okay, let's see. And then, there's some other things. So, I also cut out that statement was, so my next step is to stay out of my mind and act and feel great, inspired, motivated. What brings me joy, right? What brings you joy, right? Find that element that brings that element of joy, of happiness, of smiling. Just notice yourself. Am I smiling right now? If I'm not smiling, what's the story that's bringing me down? What am I resisting in this moment? It's really that simple. And I was fortunate to never have a spiritual teacher when I was going through my journey, because my bipolar obsessive mind would have been so focused on the rules, ways of being, I would have never discovered my own power. So we have to remember the superhero is always within us. It's not out there. You are the superhero. That perfect spirit, that consciousness, that source, that universe is within you, and it's infinite, and it's saying yes to all of life. But the mind's saying no, 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 no. The mind doesn't like change. So it's always marching to our drummer and what brings us joy and contentment. And just notice, where are you too serious? Where are you overthinking? Typically, if you're not happy, you're overthinking. You're caught in this thought loop. And we really just need to be here. All the power is here. So I got cards out today. I want to see if there's a message for the group. So I felt called to bring in my Shaman's Oracle deck today. So I always just trust my spirit. Whatever it says, I do. And that's also a practice, because the spirit voice is always first. And then this comes along second, saying why that first voice isn't correct. I can put this caption back. There we go. All right. So let me see if there's a message for the group today. Let's take a look here. Like I said, I normally don't have a lot to say. I'm here for your questions. Yeah, okay. And we'll bring this up. We'll do this real quick. Then we'll do a message. How can we let the spirit guide us? Is to be present. Because when you're really in the present, then you're aligned with spirit. Then once you're aligned with spirit, then you need to act on those impulses to do this or do that. But sometimes it takes a practice. Sometimes there might not be, you need to set an intention as well. You can just get into this neutral space where spirit resides in a place of peace, that everything's perfect in this moment. So you really have to set that intention, but we don't worry about the how. We just say, you just set that intention. I see myself, living in a different place, a new home. And you start visualizing that. And then you allow spirit to create that or something greater. And it's really that simple, of just being here and knowing that intuitive voice, and knowing that there's between intuition and the head. Intuition is do this, do that. The head's like do this because, do that because. It gives reasons, it gives a story behind it. But spirit is very short, very sweet. So let me just do a message here for the group, feeling the call to do that today. So let's hit the messages here for the group. Oh, perfect. The minds with the stories, the lies. The companion is your perfect spirit, the consciousness, the truth. And wow, the vision, what I just talked about, setting the intent, the vision, while you're in perfect spirit. And then you allow spirit to guide you to manifest that. So we have to realize the mind is always filled with lies, with stories. So we have to ask ourselves, why is this voice true? Who gave this authority to make that my truth? Your real authority is right here, your companion. It's always with you 24/7, never to leave. Always whispering, do this, do that, do this, do that. And it has no judgment. It's just whispering all the time, while this is constantly yelling at you, judging you, condemning you. But the real thing is, this is your lies. This is your companion. Set the intent, set the vision, let go of the how, and just trust it will come to be for your greatest good and show up as your greatest good, this or something more. Okay, I don't know who that comment is, so I'll look on the phone because I need to, let's see who's doing that comment here, because I don't see the name. I see a comment here, but I don't know who it's from. Let's take a look. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look here. Let me look at the comments. Oh, it's not. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Let me see. Why is it? Okay, so let me just look at the comments here. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, let me look at Robin here. Let's bring up Robin. This is Robin. Then we'll get to that, Paula. So Robin, yeah, if you're in depths of despair, can barely move, it's a tough place. It's really a tough place. So look over this, just have this compassion for yourself. And we're going to do a little practice here for Robin. So we're just going to close our eyes, relax, just wrapping you in love and everyone that's watching in love, into this divine love, which is the true us. Realize that this is the real you, the perfect spirit, this consciousness that can do all things. So the mind has a story that the body should not be this way. But the body does what the body does. There is a way to get the body to move, to restore itself. We simply need to relax and trust our perfect spirit to bring the body back into harmony by being at peace, not judging or condemning the body, allowing the body to do what it does. Because if we focus on the body not able to move properly, we are creating that reality because we're giving energy, we're giving focus to that area. And it is a practice to not focus on the flaws of the body, the imperfections, but focus on peace. For peace is the energy of transformation. This makes no logical sense. We understand, but we're wrapping you in love to remind you of your truth, that you are perfect spirit. And we allow the body to do what the body does. And know that once we become back into harmony with our truth, no longer attached to the body, we are free. We are transformed. Let go of the expectations, the outcomes, just focused on peace as we come back into this moment. For this moment is where all of our power is. So that simple little practice will make a big difference for the health of the body. So let's take a look here. So for Robin, reach out. Let's talk some more if you need help. Watch these meditations that I create. All right, so difficult for me being joy to smile. I'm such an intent person, always working towards something. I don't know how to get in touch with what brings me joy, something fun. How can I do that? That is one of the most surprising questions that I ask people. What brings you joy? What makes you smile? What makes you laugh? A lot of people can't answer that because they lost touch with that child within them. They're just wrapped up in here. So you got to start breaking the shell. That's all it is, to start breaking the shell. It's like a hardened mind locked into that way of being. It's just noticing to there you go again, being serious. But it's really about learning to come back into this moment and realize there's no place for me to go. My spirit is already perfect. I'm just here for the human experience. I'm here for the ride, to learn, to grow. So it's just a practice of just coming back to this moment. And just notice the mind is so focused on an outcome. And that focus on an outcome actually blocks the outcome. Because the mind's always throwing up interference. It's trying to force its way. But when we act from a place of power, of being present, then things just magically happen, is the best way I can explain that. Like I could have never forced my way to health. There's way too many things wrong with the body. The mind couldn't possibly conceive of a way to get healthy. 5 diseases, 5 ailments, too big of a leap for the mind. It had to be me being at peace with me. And then acting from this place of power, not force, step by step, trying to break that mental shell. So keep diving into the peace that is you. Really dive into that. And you'll notice this will start to soften. You'll notice that the outcome addiction isn't so strong anymore, the expectation addiction. Because the mind's addicted to all sorts of things from the mental junk drawer. And we just need to simply relax and tap into this deeper place of spirit, of the perfection that is us. So I'll see if there's any more questions here. So I thought it was a really interesting practice for Robin. Just to let go of the body being a certain way. That's one of the biggest secrets to health. Don't focus on healing. That is actually chapter 1. The first rule of healing, do not talk about healing. Second rule of healing, do not talk about healing. The inner dialogue, the external dialogue. You don't want to tell your friends, your family that I'm going to go heal myself. They're going to project all kinds of stories onto you. So it's like sort of you want to manifest in peace and quiet. You don't need to tell the world. Yeah, so Paula, your challenge is smile. That's your practice. I'm going to smile. Regardless of what's going on, I'm going to smile. I'm alive. Everything is possible. Let me smile today. I'm going to constantly smile. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to enjoy life. And watch how life changes. A smiling practice is perfect for Paula. Just smile all the time, laugh, saying, I'm alive. That's one of the comments I remember the most when I was in the conference in California, when I was on stage with Deepak Chopra, J.P. Spears, Aya Shante, all these great speakers there. And the one comment I heard from the attendees was, you're the happiest person here. Because I was always laughing the whole time. I was always smiling the whole time. I was here enjoying the experience of being in California with all these people that the mind wanted to elevate above me. But I was like, no, I'm here to have fun, to have this experience. But it's all good. Regardless of what the mind says, it's all good. Because we're alive to have that experience. We're here to learn and grow from that experience. Yes, Paula, let's do that. A smiling practice. I want to write a chapter on that. I think that's a great idea. Suggest a smiling practice. Everyone can smile. Everyone can find something to smile about, to be happy about. I'm alive. All things are possible. It might come down to that very basic idea that you are alive and all things are possible. The only restrictions are up here. Let's throw out that mental junk drawer, burn it up. Doesn't serve us anymore. We're here to be light, to be free, to be spirit, to be that, consciousness, source, universe, whatever you want to call it. We are that. We don't want to get hung up in words, because words aren't the ultimate truth. All right. Any other questions? We're going on about a half hour here soon. I come here every Sunday just if there's any questions, because I want to keep everyone moving forward to their perfect spirit, to create that life they want, they seek, by setting that intention, that vision, but not hung up on how that's going to happen. Just allow that, set the intention, allow that or something greater to come through, because maybe that vision is a limitation. You can have more than what you want. No. Okay. I want to discuss moving forward. Moving forward seems to be from the mind. So how to improve my health and financial situation? Just sit and smile? No. It's sit, smile, be in this energy of lightness, of peace. But then you're setting that intention. This is one of the mistakes that I made early in my practice, was when I had my spiritual center. The spiritual center eventually had to close because I had no intentions for it. I was always in the space that all is well, neutrality, just sitting and smiling essentially, but it didn't give direction to the universe. We have to give the direction to the universe, because always saying yes. So we have to set those intents. That's what I'm talking about. My next circle is about manifestation. It's about getting that place of neutrality, of perfect spirit, then setting an intent from there. And we don't worry about the how, the steps. We set the intent, then we allow spirit to guide us. We just allow spirit to guide us in this deeper place. I'm setting my intent, my vision, and we allow spirit to figure out the hows. And this is going to give you steps to take that make absolutely no sense. And your mind's going to protest. I heard the voice say, do yoga. I didn't resist that. Okay, I'm going to do yoga. Where? So driving to work, I noticed a yoga studio when I was driving by. It's like, oh, that's my yoga studio. Next day, go sign up. My mind was protesting. I needed a cane to walk. My mind was like, how are you going to do yoga? You're going to fall over. You're going to make a fool of yourself. All these stories. Nonsense. I did yoga, got my balance back, didn't need the cane anymore. So we just have to listen to that, set that intent, of listening to spirit, and it will take care of things. So if you feel like you're in quicksand, let's see, I want to see who this is real quick. Let me just see. Let's go back and take a look. Okay, Robin, yeah, you're in a tough spot. I agree. You are in a tough spot right now. I've been there. I lost the ability to walk. But the only thing I knew for certain, if I look back, was that I was alive. I was determined to live a somewhat normal life. So one thing that was good from my past, at that time, my age 36, 37, I could have gone on permanent disability. I could have made that choice saying, I'm not going to work anymore. I'm going to go on permanent disability. Just give me a check each month. No, I didn't want that life. So I pushed ahead. I kept, doing the things I could do with my physical therapist so I can get around using a quad cane or whatever it happened to be, the walker, the quad cane. I was going to live the best life I could live. So that's the things you just have to do is, what can I do? What can I do with that determined mindset? Maybe the practice for you right now, if you're feeling like you're in quicksand, like the advice would give to my older self would be to relax more, to realize that I'm alive. If I'm alive, I don't need to force things. I don't need to push so hard. I can relax more, trust myself, then operate from this deeper place. But I was very attached to the opinions outside of me. Like when I was doing physical therapy for MS, after 10 minutes, they say, oh, you must be tired. Go lay down for an hour. That just added a story that I couldn't do anything after 10 minutes. That needed to go. So I really suggest, Robin, that you go to my YouTube and find the videos on clearing head trash, clearing those stories, because it's just head trash. It's blocking your natural ability to heal, or blocking your natural ability to transform. That I don't know how you're going to transform, but you're going to transform in some way if you can get rid of these stories. That nothing is impossible. You can Google anything, any conditions, and you will see somebody that has recovered from it. If one person has done it, why can't you? So why can't you? What's the story with there when you said, hi, Tom, here just answering questions now. Thanks for joining. Haven't seen you for a while, so it's good to see you here. So sometimes, you have to pretend and smile. That is a way to get those endorphins, because when you are smiling, you are increasing the endorphins. If you're increasing the endorphins, you're lowering the cortisol, so that helps the immune system. So it is a good practice to just fake it, if you will. But I really think you need to do some of these meditations that I have on YouTube about the daily mental shower, clearing the head trash. I think that's a good place to start, like an 8-minute practice, a 10-minute practice. Very simple. The 2 or 3 minute practice I did here today. It's all stuff that will get you moving forward. And we're always here to move forward. And the way I see that is, we're not stagnant. We're here to flow with our life force, to flow with this inner calling within us, to do this. We came to Earth to do great work. Very few of us came here as volunteers to teach, humanity lessons on compassion. Those sick children, they didn't purposely come in with, well, they did. It's, like these sick children, they chose as a soul to come in here to teach humanity compassion. So we're here to learn compassion from that came in sick, because I'm in this realm, this belief that we chose our human experiences before we arrived, things to learn from, things to overcome. And those souls chose to be volunteers, if you will, to teach compassion, and also for themselves, to have compassion for themselves, because they're coming in damaged bodies. How do they love themselves just as they are? That is a challenge. Like my cousin with Downs, he absolutely loves life. He loves himself. You see someone with Downs and they're just full of joy. They're just so light and beautiful. So it's really about seeing the beauty in life in all things. That's really just come back to this present moment. Have you looked at your hand today and say thank you? Have you looked at your foot today and said thank you? That we're taking things for granted. And we don't want to do that. We want to enjoy life, to be here to celebrate life. We're here to be the celebration of light, to be that beacon of hope, to uplift people, to cheerleader. We don't want to judge, condemn somebody. We want to root them on. We don't want to get in this jealousy, this envy, this comparison. It's not useful energy. We're all perfect spirit. Once you realize we're all perfect spirit doing our very best, the anxiety drops away, the stress drops away. You don't worry about what someone else is doing. That's their journey. If they're not being mean, cruel to the world, go to it. If they're being mean, cruel, doing something they shouldn't be doing, is there anything I can do to step in to change that course? And sometimes it might be just sending lots of love. Let's see what Paula says here. Yes. Pretend and smile, because I need that minute by minute reminder for myself. Yes. Minute by minute, you're alive. You're breathing. Everything's possible. I'm not allowing this to shut down my greatness. I am a superhero. So Paula, who is your superhero? Identify your superhero. What's your character? What's the great things that you can do in this world where there's no limitations? Come on, we're all superheroes. Let's find that. So for Robin, what is your superhero that can do all things, no limitations? Maybe that's the vision you set. Maybe that's the intention you set. See yourself as a superhero that can leap over tall buildings, that can walk a mile without aids. That was pretty miraculous when I could walk my first mile with no aids, no cane, no walker. When you're dealing with MS, they do a test to see how fast you can walk, back and forth like 50 feet. And it was like an effort to walk 50 feet. I forget what the time was, but it was really long to walk 50 feet in a walker. It was a long, long time. That's it. The encourager. Absolutely. That's your vision, that you're the encourager. So you're the cheerleader. You root people on, especially yourself. So, and keep encouraging you. Take that step. Do something that the mind doesn't like, because this is going to constantly protest. Ignore it. Take that action from there. No, this only is useful when the fear is real. The fear is genuine, that your life is in danger. The go do this, go do that, evasive action, if you will. But that's not usually the case. A lot of people aren't chasing us around. All right, so I think we're pretty good here today. We're going 40 minutes. Any other questions? But Paula, I love it. The smile challenge, and you're the encourager. So I think Paula, Catherine, and the like I have in my Facebook, I have the Miracle Man. I want to see you, Paula, to change yours to next to it. Just put the encourager. Paula's nickname now is the encourager. I'm the miracle man. She's the encourager. So put that on your Facebook as your reminder when you look at your profile page. I'm the encourager. Maybe put little post-it notes up around the house. The encourager. Maybe you just do that as your reminder. Maybe that's your mantra. Yeah, that's your mantra, Paula, as the encourager. Yeah, play, smile, enjoy life. Even if the body's immobile, maybe just start giving thanks to having the body, or watching a TV show, or reading a book, or surfing the internet, finding little moments of gratitude of what you can do. See, when we put the superhero character, I think that's an interesting concept. I might have to throw that in a book too. That's our own personal mantra to see what is our superhero power, and maybe that's your mantra. I'm the encourager. I'm this. I'm that. Scared, the fear, yeah, from the mind. It's real, and the mind can really slow you down. Let me see the comment. Let me just see. Yeah, Robin, the scared is here. You have to realize the real you is consciousness. It is perfect spirit. It was never born. It never dies. The body comes and goes, but your spirit always remains. But the mind is always in the worst case scenario. What else is going to go wrong? What if this happens? What if this happens? They're all disempowering states. We just have to remember to be here. Be here. This is where all my power resides. It's not out there. Out there is your tools, your aids, your guides. Like, the thing I like to do is point people back to themselves, because they are the perfect spirit. Their wisdom is within them. I simply remind them, hey, look within yourself. You're alive. All things are possible. Yes, that's great. I'm going to put that Paul. Yeah, that's great for her. Yes, you are capable. Even when you don't feel capable, you're feeling scared. It's just the story. You need to really come back to this moment to the best of your ability. And you're going to be in this I got it, I lost it phase for quite some time. You're going to be wrapped up in the story. Then one time you're going to remember, let me come back to this moment. And then you'll be back in your power. Then you're going to get lost in the story again. That's fine. But when you remember, you come back to this moment. It's just a game we play for a while. I lost it, I got it phase. But eventually, I got it phase becomes more and more concrete, if you will. Because this is dragging you all over the place right now. It can stop instantly, or it might take some time. We don't judge it. We don't condemn it. It's just what it is right now. But we keep coming back to this moment, Robin. Just really keep coming back. Yes, I totally understand this completely. I nearly killed myself twice from my story. I believed my thoughts to be the truth. So I was suicidal in my 20s because I took my thoughts and beliefs as my truth. So yes, head trash is deadly. There's no fooling around. Head trash is deadly. That's why it's urgent that we throw this out as quickly as possible. It's making you sicker. It's going to give more autoimmune diseases. It's going to give heart issues. It's going to create a lot of cortisol, a lot of stress, and it will kill you. So yes, it's important to get back into this moment. That's part of my why, because I know how deadly this is from my personal experience. We need to throw it out as quickly as possible. If I keep coming back into this moment, and just wishing you lots of love and peace. And really watch those videos on clearing the head trash. Reach out to me. Let's do a session. Let's just get this rolling. Let's get that rotor-rooter going through you and clear that stuff out in an expedited way. Yes. Yep, you can create new superpowers. Absolutely. There's no rules, no restrictions. You're smiling woman. Yes, absolutely, Paula. You smile at everyone. Even if you got a mask off, they can't see you. You're still smiling at them. You're still sending them love. You're sending them peace. And sending love and peace to everyone you meet will shift them in ways you won't understand. No, it's not being inauthentic. It's not forcing anything. There are no rules. That's the beauty of life. There are no rules. And smiling at people is a superpower. Being peaceful, being happy to people transforms people. That is a real superpower. It's like when somebody walks into the room angry and upset, you can feel that and it brings the whole vibe down. But if you walk into a room happy, smiling, it's raising the vibe up, the vibrations up. So it's definitely a superpower. Can't be denied. Absolutely. When you ever catch your reflection, smile. Say, Paula, you look beautiful today. I love you, Paula. Have those positive mantras to yourself. Even if you can't say the words right now, just smiling at yourself is the perfect start. But eventually you get to that place where, like, I love you. You're doing an amazing job. Keep going. That's the Louise Hay mirror work. Is yes, whenever you catch your reflection, smile. That's great. All right, it's been a fun Sunday. I'm going to start winding things down, get some lunch, enjoy the day. But I'll be back here next Sunday. And tomorrow I'm here with Lori, and we're going to do the soul messages, lots of readings, as many as we can do. Just trying to give you some clarity in your life, because when this is going like a buzzsaw, it's hard to get that clarity, all that interference. We don't want that interference. We want to live life. We want to be the smiling woman. We want to be the embodiment of love. That is perfect spirit, when you're the embodiment of love. All right. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Lots of love to you. Lots of peace to you. Peace is the energy of transformation. There's plenty to do. It's coming back to remembering who you are. Maybe just relaxing and just finding those impulses. Maybe there's visioning work you can do, finding who your superpower is. Maybe pulling out old photos and putting yourself back into that energy when you were happy, free, light, pulling that forward into the current experience. All right. Thanks, Dali. Take good care of yourself. Lots of love to everyone. Lots of peace. Lots of joy. Whatever you're facing, you got this. Relax. Operate from power. No issues. All right. Take good care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.